Keep
it
it
real.
Our guest today is Annelie Klein.
Hello.
Hi, Annelie.
Hello.
Hey, y'all.
Very good to have you on the show tonight.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Renee, may I ask, are you comfortable with us sharing with our public how and why we got to choose Annelie to be our guest tonight?
Yes. Go for it. Keep it real. Let's do it.
That's right. So, since the last two shows that Ray and I have had, we discussed who in our lives do we consider to be sisters, and who do we value their opinion on how they lead their lives as far as sisterhood is concerned. So she had to come up with two people, and I had to come up with two people. This is one of my persons.
I am so honored.
Annelie leads her life in a very, to me, since I've had opportunity to be around her, she's led her life in a very sisterly frame to all women. And I say that because I see Annelie when we were living in Athens, Georgia. Annelie had a job, which we all choose our own poison for job, right? We do.
Choose your own poison.
Yeah. She chose a job that she had to be around a multicultural environment constantly, right? And she would always help everybody, to the point that when she got ready to leave, nobody wanted her to go nowhere. Okay? That's a great sign. That's a great sign.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's a fantastic sign.
Right. So that information coupled with the information of how she treats me as a person won her this spot on our show. Keep it real.
Congratulations, Annelie. That's how you got here. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car.
I can't wait till we can say that to our public.
Okay, are we taping?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, we are taping. This is real.
Time that we started to talk.
Oh, great.
It's okay. It's called Keep It Real for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. I love the headset.
Yeah, awesome. I can hear much better, and y'all can't hear the dogs licking.
Wow, we can hear you so much better. Wow.
That sounds really good.
It really
Thank you. All right.
So, Annelie, I got to ask you. We're going to start off with, what does sisterhood mean to you?
Oh, boy. Sisterhood. Well, so I've come to own or to know sisterhood from being the only girl with 5 brothers. And I didn't have an opportunity to actually have a sister. I was in the middle. And so I didn't know, I don't have that type of formidable training, so to speak. But what I did find was that a close bond with women and with and empathy. And over the years, I've had friends that are in and out of my life that have all put, they've all got a place in my heart. Bethsheba, of course, you being one of them.
I feel that.
But it's been so what sisterhood means to me is that connection with another woman, that ability to be empathetic, even if you don't know exactly what they're going through, at least you have the ability to hear them and to feel their, feel as much as you can their feelings, but also not to. Sisterhood also means to me to let that other sister talk. And I'm not the one. I can't, I haven't experienced everything that everyone else has experienced, but at least I can be there for them. And I think it's just, I also feel like it's a woman bond. It's more earthy to me. Of course, I've been pretty earthy with some other people too, but um, but what sisterhood means to me is that we are connected in a really special way. And there's a connection that I've only felt with women that in that manner, obviously, because it's,
Cool thing.
well, no, I've got some sisters that are guys too, but anyway. I mean, it is a, I guess, so let's see, groundwork, sisterhood is that womanly, or that it's a really deep empathetic feeling that kind of melts and molds around and brings in goodness, like a good hug. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I feel
That's
about
what
it.
it feels like.
That's what it feels like. Oh, what is it
Yeah.
like? It's good friends, being able to share, being able to care, and being able to really, I think the biggest thing is to be able to listen and to be that person's advocate if needed.
Yeah. So everything that you just said is everything that I learned about Annelie within just a few minutes of hanging around her for any amount of time, right?
Yeah.
And I think that you and Annelie actually share something very similar, Renee. You were born to a family that you were the only girl.
Yeah.
Annelie was born to a family that she was the only girl too. I kind of feel like that makes you guys better sisters.
Because we wanted it so bad.
I always wanted the sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I had to learn about sisterhood through you, Bathsheba, actually. Like
Really?
I had to,
didn't know that.
yeah,
I
like
had no
through
idea.
you.
She's a good
Because
teacher.
she's a very good teacher, right? And like I always was envious. Like I always wished that I had a lot of sisters, and of course I didn't have any. And that's one of the questions that I had asked Bathsheba back when we discussed doing this show. And I said to her, well, you have real sisters. So how does sisterhood vary between blood sisters and good friends? You know? And so you can
So then
share,
this
Bathsheba, what you
show
said.
came about, right? But
Mm-hmm.
because you asked me that question, it started me to thinking like, really, how is this different? You know? I know you guys got to know, like in families, the family dynamic of how it flows or whatever, it really will plant the seed of how the emotions go between the family members, right? So I hate to say this, my sisterhood with the two of you a lot of times plays out in more of what actual sisterhood looks like than between my own natural sisters.
Wow.
And
Like,
that's the
how is that? Like, what's like an example?
so your siblings, they grow up with you your whole life. They see all parts of you nobody else can see. They learn things about you that sometimes you don't even know about yourself, right? And those things may cause tough feelings to happen or slighted jealousies that you are not aware that your sister is feeling, or anything can happen in families, right?
Right.
And even though me and my sister have this true bond of always taking care of one another, because we do, even if we hate each other's guts, we still take care of one another. That is the most amazing part about having a blood sister. They're never going to let you fail as far as, you getting wiped off the face of the earth
Right.
or not having food or having no place to go with you and your kids, or you're having men problems. It doesn't matter if your sister hates your guts. If the dude you're with is doing you wrong, she's going to co-sign for you and help you, Or it could be as simple as you got to get dinner made and put on the table, but you're having problems because your kid needs help with their homework. I've had my blood sisters jump in and help me with those things, just the day-to-day stuff. Just because, and I didn't have to ask, I didn't have to prod, I didn't have to do any of that. They saw the situation, they were like, that's my nephew, that's my niece. I'm going to go help. At that point, she's being a sister to me, not realizing it because she still probably hates my guts, but she loves her niece or her nephew. So that's like extending being mom at that moment, but that's still to me a heavy part of sisterhood when I have blood sisters. It's probably because I've only experienced it that way. At the same time, I needed her. At that point in time, I needed her because if she didn't hop in and help my kid with their homework, we might have been eating at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So,
I think that's, I mean, and I think that goes that way with other sister friends too, because I don't know, Renee, if you've experienced that, but I've been there for, women have been there for me with that exact same thing.
yeah,
And they weren't my sisters, but I think that's, I think that there's a family connection. Could you weigh that? Because that's your way of going with your sister. I guess I'm thinking that I've experienced that with my brothers on another level as well. But
yeah.
sisterhood, since that's our conversation tonight, I will.
It's okay. We've had to discuss men as far as sisterhood is concerned before.
Right.
Because
Right.
your brothers are very close to you, just like your sisters are. And
Yeah.
sometimes they have to do things for you like your sister would. So
Right.
we totally
Right.
in that. We get that. I think
But what I heard,
we
but
have brothers.
one of the cool things though that I'm picking up from both of you is like kind of this idea of advocacy. Annelie, you said like being an advocate, and then Bethsheba, you talked about how your sisters will pop in and help even if they don't want to, even if you hate each other, they will still advocate for you. So sisterhood is one of those things where you put petty things or shallow things aside and you just say, at our core, we are sisters. And so I might not be happy with you right now, but my sisterhood impels me to go and take care of you, even though I don't really like you. Then it going
Unconditional
gets
love.
rough. Unconditional love, which is something you might not do for someone that you don't identify with as a sister. You might not put yourself out there
Right.
in that way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It-
that I think you're right. I think it's an unconditional love that is that's a really to have that with people that aren't your family
Yeah.
is sincerely a prize, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
To have that access to that kind of advocacy. I mean, they always say like you can find out who your real friends are when like the going gets rough,
Right.
when things
Wow.
go bad, who sticks around you, and that's family. Because I've known people say, okay, my blood family always runs, or they are the trouble that I need help with,
Yeah.
but you guys came in or whatever. So to me, you guys are family. So
Yeah.
family is being redefined not as DNA, but who's there for you when things get so rough that like it clears the room, and then there's like two people standing. Well, that's your family.
Yeah.
So
Right. Yeah,
these different ideas.
for sure.
Right. Yeah.
So
And that's where the advocacy comes in. And Annelie, that's something that I know Bathsheba has always shared with me, that you're more of like I see you as like a first responder, which I also do that. Like, you and I kind of come when trouble comes,
Yeah, and we're out after that.
Yeah, then we're out. I mean, and that's true. Seriously,
I'm
I
like,
feel,
okay,
yeah, if everything's fine, I
stabilized.
kind of back up. I'm like, okay, you guys are good. Like, call me again when something goes crazy. Yeah.
Right.
But the both of you shared that right there because honestly, my experience with women outside of my blood sisters, that is what bonds me to them is
Mhm.
Hey, I see you right now. And then our bond becomes stronger, like literally like sisters. Like the
Mhm.
two of you, you're in my heart, just like
Right.
my actual sisters are. And I feel just as strongly about the both
Mhm.
of you as I do my own sisters because of that bond. Like, you couldn't have said it any better, Renee. Honestly,
Mhm.
you couldn't have said it any better. When
Thank
you
you.
see your fellow woman in need and you go advocate for her and help her where you see the real pain happening at,
Mhm.
that creates that sisterhood.
Mhm.
And then that makes a friendship with another woman that she wants to repay the favor. you know? So
Mhm.
then that secures that sisterhood bond going two ways, you know, and
Yeah.
keeping the bond strong. I really appreciate meeting other women from other cultures. And when they start talking about their life and what they're going through, and I'm like, gosh, I had the same situation happen in my own household. I feel you, you know?
Mhm.
I really feel your pain there. And then that's another level of sisterhood that we were talking about in our first episode that just gets created with no words, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a special thing. And I've really had that happen more with women around me than I
Yeah.
have with
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
Me too.
Where you kind of can you're in a situation and you look around and the person who meets your eyes and is going to help you or maybe take part with whatever this is usually a woman. At least, I
Yeah.
mean, for me. And then it's like, okay, she's got me. If I start this or if she starts this, we have each other's back.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty cool thing to.
Yeah, if I need assistance, like now that you said it, like if I need assistance in a public place, I usually will approach a woman
Mhm.
instead of a man if I have a choice.
Because you know she's gonna understand. She's gonna
Right.
understand because she's probably been there more times than she'd like to let on. You
Right.
know?
Yeah. And also like these cool moments too, like when you're like younger or like when I was in law school, whatever, like even if you don't know a woman, like if you need like a pad or like a tampon, like you'll find a woman and just be like,
Right.
do you
And
have
she
one? You
doesn't
know,
even have to be
All you gotta
somebody
do
you
is go.
actually know.
right.
You know, she totally gets it. You're stuck in the stall. I'm gonna put my quarter in and get you one.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly. So like that sisterhood with like even between strangers that like we
Yeah.
can't even go to a man that we really know really well. We can only go to a stranger as a woman. Like that's still so sisterhood sometimes like trumps all of that, you know?
Yeah.
All yeah. It is true and it is cross-cultural too. Like I have been in rooms with women from all different types of cultures and you can still find those commonalities to really talk about because we all experience similar things that men absolutely do have trouble understanding because they haven't lived it, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
That's-
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well,
Oh,
I was just gonna say that we even bond there when it's about, you know, I know we bond very easily when it comes to relationship breakups.
Mhm.
because we've all been there.
We've all been there, exactly.
Right.
Mhm.
We also seem to bond there when it comes just to the union of man and woman, right?
Mhm.
So I'm talking about the aspect of, you know, your friend, she's married, she's probably struggling a little bit in their marriage. They may or may not be going to family counseling, but you look at her and you see the stress on her face.
And you just know you're
And
like I got you.
already know. You just already know. I might need to just go and have a lighthearted conversation with her to take her mind off of what's happening at home right now. Not that
Yeah.
it's
Right.
extremely bad, like, you know, nobody might be able to be about to wind up in, you know, domestic violence situations. I'm just saying, marriage, period, is stressful, right? Nobody
Mhm.
tells you that when you enter.
A relationship, a marriage. Yes,
Yes.
they are.
And
Yeah.
there's a dynamic too, like anything between a man and a woman, whenever they're, even if it's a work relationship or a friendship or like romantic, yeah, those dynamics are kind of similar that we can all relate to. Whenever a woman has to relate to a man over and over again, there are going to be similar things that rise to the surface, similar problems,
Yeah.
Right.
depend, you know, even culturally, cross culturally. And when the woman starts talking about her problems, you instantly would go, oh my gosh, I've been there. And
Yeah.
it might have been,
You
you
can
might have been there
have
with your
that
father or your brother or a friend, but you've been there at some point. You've been around a
Or you're ready
guy,
to listen.
or
You're
you're
ready
ready
to
to listen and
listen.
learn. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is hard work too, because there are so many differences, even just men and women, we've just had different experiences too. Like cultures, like society treats you differently if they think you're a woman than if they think you're a man. When a
Yeah.
woman appears on the scene, she is immediately treated differently than a man. A man is more, people listen to men when they talk more. People tend to respect men a little bit more. They rise to leadership positions more. Just go down the gamut, like we can't walk out alone at like 4 a.m. and feel safe. Women can't do that. Whereas men might think I'm going to get robbed, but like that's
But he
the
still
hype.
goes anyway.
Yeah, they still go anyways, and they basically, I mean, because I've had men say that to me. Yeah, I
Right.
mean, I've had men say that to me, like, "Oh, it's so wonderful walking around at like 3 a.m. You should try it sometime." Oh, I guess you can't. You're a woman. It's like, yeah, I would never do that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I have decided to take those 3 and 4 a.m. walks just out of spite of the,
Oh gosh,
or
please, it's
I'm
so
so serious.
scary. So
But
scary.
in the light of keeping it real, I'm just letting everybody know I still have some, marijuana coffee left over from this morning. And I'm going to sip on that because we keep it real. And while we become flippity gibbets as we
We
keep
get a
going.
little crazy, yes. And I'm being honest when I say that chamomile tea it kind of messes me up a little bit. I don't know why. It makes me very, very sleepy.
I'm
Ladies,
giving
I'm
a
having
notification that I'm
whiskey.
running out of time.
Oh, wait. She said, wait. What did Annelie,
Oh,
what are you drinking?
I'm having bourbon in my beautiful, beautiful, lovely ceramic mug by
That's so pretty, Annelie.
That's gorgeous.
It really is.
and I'm so hold on a minute. I'll have to
Where did
go
you
with
get that?
my good friend, my sister.
See there?
Who I've drawn a blank on.
Who I'm checking? She's my sister, but I don't remember her. Oh
I'm so embarrassed.
Okay.
Hang
I
on a
have
minute.
several third shift
No.
sisters that I
We
cannot
need to
remember their names.
please.
no.
Sorry.
This is my friend who is I own a bunch of her work and I love her and now I'm Jory Berman,
Okay, I've heard you talk.
and she has a little business called the Biscuit Pottery, and
Oh, that's
she
cute.
makes
Name.
this stuff and she is freaking incredible.
Oh
It even
my
has
God.
design work on the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
So
I'm really into mugs. I love mug stuff.
check out Biscuit Pottery. Jory
Yeah, we're going
Berman.
to give Jory
Plug.
a little plug here on our show and put her
Yeah.
in the bottom of the comments so people can go and get her pottery.
Yeah.
Oh, can I add that, or is that something you add?
Yeah.
No, I'm adding that.
Oh, good.
Just send me the link. I'll put it in the description of the show.
Yeah, put it in the description.
great.
I think that's great. Yeah.
Hey, Renee,
Use the
we
platform.
actually have a better, stronger sisterhood by doing that. We can promote one woman business.
I was gonna say that to you guys.
Promote women.
Yeah.
Yes. And
The
because
whole time.
that's something that we've been talking about. I was on the Clubhouse app last night and I was talking about it with Aaron Johnson Levy, who's this fantastic entertainer. And then before that, Dennis Tardon and I have shows and we talked about this, but here's the idea. A rising tide lifts all ships. So when you support other entertainers or other women, or it doesn't detract from your light. We can all be light. It actually spreads the light. So because I know like sometimes like I went to law school or whatever, and the idea was, try to bring other people down. It's very competitive. But that's actually not, a lot of the people that get successful in the arts and stuff, it's because they promoted other people. Yeah.
You gotta bring it forward. Okay?
Yeah, bring it forward.
You have to do that. You have to, and it's fundamental that you have to do that. And unfortunately, it's either a trait that either is not taught, or it didn't come naturally, but it can be taught, is what I'm gonna say. Is that if it didn't come naturally for you to bring it forward or move it forward or share, then you can learn that. It is a learned, yeah, it can be difficult and stuff like that. But I think that I I have had the most meaningful relationships with women is by promoting them, or, you know,
Yes.
yeah, and sharing with them,
Absolutely.
and backing what they do. You know, I mean, I think that we have to do that as women anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Why not use this type of a platform to improve that? So.
Can you
Exactly.
flash the bottom of the mug up one more time? Start talking, Annalise, so the camera can come on.
Oh yeah, so Jory Berman, biscuit pottery
Oh yeah. Oh God,
design.
such nice
Oh,
work. Don't spill the bourbon.
on the laptop.
Oh man, that would be terrible.
The last 5 minutes of the show.
We'll just zap it out. Well, I have a question because Annalie said that there are some men in her life who are kind of like sisters, or she can share sisterhood.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, because that's a cool dynamic. I'd like to hear more about that.
Well, my best friend from high school, best friend, is a wonderful being that I feel like he and I at the time, I mean, he's still a guy and everything, but I guess I felt more of a connection to him as far as a girl, like sisters. I thought that maybe at that time in my life, I was 14, I think, when I met him, and that on the phone all the time, or at each other's houses all the time, you know, sharing, turning on how to put on makeup and how to do your hair, and because I didn't have a girl to be a girl with. And I had him for a while to be a girl with, and I really appreciate that. So I guess that's where I was. And I mean, of course, we're still best friends. So,
Wow.
Friends same like this.
huh?
Mhm.
My friend Lanaya, when I met her, I absolutely thought she was a woman. She looks exactly like a woman. But
And she is, right? Her essence.
absolutely. This is how she lives her life. So I don't ever address her as anything other than my sister, my female friend, you know?
Right.
I'll have, you know, this is another topic for another show, but but honestly, I absolutely feel you on that, Annalie, because I do have several male friends that are literally, they treat me like their sister. I treat them like my best girlfriend, you know? So
And also the things, the taboo subjects that are somewhat taboo. I won't say they're taboo, but
yeah.
the somewhat taboo subjects with other men are completely not
Yeah.
at
With
all.
your best guy friend
I can
who is
talk
a
about
woman.
my period. I could talk about menopause. I could talk about having a baby. I mean, like the, you know, the pain, the everything, and the joy.
May I ask you in our last 2 minutes here, Annalie, your friends that were not born assigned female,
Yeah.
and have chosen this for their lives, when you talk with them about issues that, you know, get categorized as only females talking about, do you feel a stronger bond, like more intense of a relationship, because they are walking into um, being a woman as an adult? Like they're not taking that for granted. It just seems
No.
like they're not taking that friendship for granted at all, because
Not at
they're
all.
walking into it with eyes open, you know?
And the desire to learn, and the
Yeah.
desire to understand. And I already think that I truly feel that they already do have that understanding. When
Absolutely.
you were talking about someone, I feel they're already connected
Absolutely.
already. It's a done deal. And it's nice for us to be able to verbally share our knowledge, but I think that they were already there
Yes,
It's just that knowledge is awakening. And I think that that's so beautiful.
absolutely.
So beautiful. So
So we're down to the last 1 minute. We really, really thank you, Annelie, for being on
thank you.
the show.
Thank you. Yes.
I hope I have an opportunity to come back. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. So
Wonderful, wonderful.
Oh my gosh. Welcome. Welcome. This is your first time, but not your last time. Definitely. You'll be back a lot.
Guest star you again.
We're going to snag you back and not let you out.
that sounds great to me.
I also
All right.
he gave us the topic for one of our future shows.
Really?
Yeah.
Which
I'm asking Renee,
Oh,
how does she feel about that?
Yes, of course. Of course. I think that's wonderful. We can have her back and talk about all of that stuff. That would be so cool.
Wonderful. You guys,
Let's do it.
nice plug. Thank you
so
there,
much
Beth.
for watching us here at
Keep
It
it
Real.
real.
Have a wonderful evening.
Bye, y'all. Love you.
Love you.